Hey writer friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Holly. I'm a writer aspiring to be a published author. And in today's video, I will be answering your assumptions about me. So I saw this going around YouTube and AuthorTube, so I thought it would be really fun if I did this myself. The whole gist is that you ask people what their assumptions of you are, and then you tell them whether it's true or not. So I asked you guys on both Twitter and Instagram. That was when Mercury retrograde, blah, 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 just completely shut down Instagram and Facebook. So I got a couple responses on Instagram and quite a few responses on Twitter. So I'm gonna be telling you guys whether those assumptions are right or not. All right, so the first assumption is by T. Sinclair Bowman, and he says that you're super positive thinking about who your in-laws are. And yes, this is a correct assumption. If you guys don't know, my fiance Chris and I have been engaged forever, but I already call his mom like my mother-in-law. She's the madre, and then his sister I call sister because actually my sister and his sister are both named Jenny, so I had to find a way to differentiate between the two. So and she's not just my sister, so she's my sister. But anyways, I love them to pieces. We get along so well, and it was like fate brought us together. I was like, she could be my mom. Like, she's amazing, and so I love my in-laws to pieces. So that is correct. All right, the next assumption comes from Ryan Medina, and he said that you have to curse a lot in private. Nobody is that sweet all the time. And you guys, this is true. I burst out laughing at this. Like, Ryan, dude, you know me so well. I try not to swear, yes, on social media, on my channel especially. I'll say darn, or I probably said damn. Yeah, I'm sure I've said that. Well, if I didn't, I just swore right now. But yeah, I'm sure I've said at least like 1 or 2 swear words, but they weren't like really, really bad. But oh yeah, I can curse a lot in real life, especially when I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 3 and I am super frustrated and I'm just like, die, die, and I'm swearing at them, and it's like I'm alongside Woody and Buzz and Donald and Goofy, and I'm just like swearing like a sailor, and yeah, that is true. It's actually funny because I was very, very religious for a long time, and in college was when I started to kind of fall out of going to church. But before then, I never swore because that was bad, and it was, saying the Lord's name in vain and all of that. So I would say like darn and like oh golly. No, I wouldn't say that, but I would be like oh darn or oh shoot. And it's just like, now that cannot convey like the emotion that I'm feeling, but it wasn't until senior year in college. So yeah, you guys, I waited a long time before I started swearing. I like finally started swearing, and like with my boyfriend at the time, I was like, all right, tell me to say this word, tell me to say this word. And so he was like, hyping me up for it. But I still didn't say some of like the really, really bad curse words, but now I say them all. The next assumption comes from Renee Dugan Writing, and I realize like keep saying Dugan, but I don't know if it's Duggan, so please tell me if I'm saying your name wrong, Renee. I'm so sorry. But she says that you're the younger twin. Yes, I am the younger twin. The funny thing is that when I was younger, I would say, well, you're older, but I look older. And now, I don't know. Do you guys think that Heather looks older or I look older? Or do we look the same age? 31. Because I know a lot of my patients don't think that I look 31. They think I look like in my mid to late 20s. And when I first started working, like they thought I was like 19. I'm like, I can't be working here as a physical therapist if I were 19 years old. Like, come on, man. But yes, being the younger twin, I am the baby of the family. The next assumption is from Dahlia Burrows, and she says, you're driven. Some might even go so far as to call you an overachiever, in a good way. No one's ever called me an overachiever, so I don't think I am, but I probably would say that I'm driven. And the interesting thing is that it wasn't until recently a friend had said, because I was like, I'm not type A at all. And he's like, yeah, you're type A. And I realized that I'm only type A when it comes to my writing and productivity and getting my, writer life in order. So it's funny how Like, I feel like I'm type B with everything else, but with writing and trying to be productive during the day, I'm type A. So I don't know if there's a type like A.5 or something like that. But yeah, so I'm kind of like half and half on this question, because I'm definitely like, I try my hardest with everything, but I don't necessarily go like above and beyond. Like, I do well in school. I'm obviously working really hard, you know, to become traditionally published, but that doesn't extend to every area of my life. Next assumption is by author Emily Bourne, and she says that you did really well in science and math classes at school. And that one is kind of a hit or miss too. I liked math up to a certain point. That was up until calculus. I loved trigonometry, algebra was okay, but calculus I hated with a dying passion. And then same thing with science. I really liked earth science, I liked some biology, and then obviously as a physical therapist, I loved anatomy, but I was not the biggest fan of physiology, and I was not the biggest fan of physics. So that is another one that is a half and half assumption for me, because those classes were really rough and I got like C's in them, and I was like, that's good, I passed, that's all I had to do. Whereas some of the other classes I would get A's in and a couple B's, so I was kind of across the board. I feel like since I have been working, my math skills have gone down, where it's like 5 + 4, and I'm like, let me grab a calculator really quick. No, I'm not that bad, but I am a little derpy now. Next assumption is by Marissa Mohi, and she says, I assume you eat really healthy. Again, that one is half true and half false assumption. So I do try to eat healthy, but that doesn't always happen. I find myself sometimes like, I'll make a good breakfast and I pack a really good lunch for me to go to work, and then after work, I am tired, I'm lazy, I didn't do meal prep, so I will just like snack all night, or I'll just be exhausted and I'm like, yeah, I already had some dessert while I was at work, but I'm gonna have my nighttime dessert now, so I'll just kind of like eat something bad. Bad thing is that I do have a sweet tooth. I love, you know, chocolate, sweet, salty things. Chips are, you know, my weakness, so that's something that I'm not always on, and I feel like I kind of fluctuate, and it also goes in line with my workouts. So there are times where I'm busier and my workouts fall to the wayside, and so then I tend to eat crappier. I swore. And then there are times where I start working out, and obviously then I want to eat healthier, because I'm like, I just did all this work, I don't want to like ruin it. So then I eat healthier and I'm taking care of myself, which kind of makes me feel better and makes me want to work out more. So it's this kind of cycle that I find myself in. But at least right now I am on the healthy track. I feel like I'm doing better, so that's good. And then the last assumption is by Rayleigh Bradshaw, and she says, I assume you're one of those really polite people who think about things before you say them. And yes, this is so true. Most of the time, again, mostly this is true. I try to be very nice, especially since I work with patients. I, you know, try to be very cordial. I try to develop a good rapport with them, and it's very natural too. Like, I feel like I'm not like faking it. I try to be a positive person, because no one wants to be around someone who's negative and like mean. I don't understand like the mean people who are just very malicious or rude, and it's like, does that make you feel good? Does that make you sleep at night? Because that wouldn't be me. So I try to think before I say things so that I don't say the wrong thing, but it's when people say things that catch me off guard, where I'm at a loss for words and I can't think of anything to say because it shocked me so much. Usually it's something that's like a rude comment or inappropriate comment or something, and I kind of freeze up. But for the most part, I'm someone who kind of thinks about what I say carefully so that I don't say the wrong thing, so that I don't hurt people's feelings, because I want everyone to be happy. All right, you guys, so that's it for this video. This was so much fun. Please let me know in the comments down below if you have any other assumptions about me. I will try to answer them in my replies, and if you agreed with any of the assumptions that people had said. Or let me know if any of the assumptions that I debunked surprised you. Please give this video a thumbs up and hit subscribe to support my channel, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!